What's up, everybody? Josh at Evoke Bike, and I just wanted to give some context for this equipment video. I recorded it in one shot and cut it up into two parts. So in this part, you're going to jump right into it. We're talking about the cross bike geometry. We're talking gearing. We are talking some miscellaneous stuff with cleaning supplies and warm-up trainer, Embrocation, CushCore. There's a bunch of stuff here. So yeah, I will jump right into it. Hope you guys enjoy it. Bye. Okay, CX bike, there are a lot of specifics for like the geometry and the setup and the gearing. So again, high level, a CX bike is generally set up for more tire clearance. You can fit larger tires, like 33s and above. There's typically no brazed on front derailleur, so it's like a 1x stock setup, but you see the pros running 2xs. Some of them are transitioning more to 1x now, with like the GRX setup from Shimano, and SRAM, of course, has a huge 1x setup. Another thing is typically they have a higher bottom bracket, just for like that center of gravity for turning. Slightly more relaxed head tube angle. That's just kind of like a standard setup. And then your personal setup, like your bike fit, again, hugely personal preference here. I know for me, I have it a bit more relaxed. I'm a bit more upright. I run like a 120 stem. The geometry on my road bike is different, but I run a 120 stem on my road bike, and then I have a 100mm stem on my cross bikes, just to get me more upright. I'm like more nimble in the turns. I think I read an article, it was on like CX magazine a few years ago, where Adam Meyerson was talking about like 100mm, I think it was Adam, that 100mm was like the standard for cross bikes, and like that's what you should maybe start off with, and maybe go a bit longer or go a bit shorter, see what works for you. Okay, gearing, the front chainring, you see typically 1x, and then the size of that chainring varies somewhere between like 38 and 44. Maybe you'll see guys rocking like a 46 for like a really flat course. And then for a 2x setup, it's like the standard is like 46, 36. Then you can get nuanced of like 46, 39. I think that's like a pro only setup. I don't know if you can buy that, but yeah, like you see the pro guys with all different variations of like the inner and outer rings. And then in the back, it totally varies. If you're, another debate that I won't get into is mechanical versus electronic. Because if you go in electronic, now it gives you more, options in the rear, but it totally varies. You'll see guys switch things out for courses and different terrains. Same with the front. That's why there's that range. You'll see people change from like, I know I like to run a larger cassette. I'll typically keep my front chainring as like a 40-42 for the whole season. I like to spin a bit more, but I'll run like 11-28 for like most races, and then I'll go a bit higher if it's going to be really muddy. I'll have like a mud wheel set up with like mud tires, and then like maybe like an 11-32, 11-34, so I can spin a bit more in like a really muddy race for those high torque efforts. So yeah, and then you could get into like, again, like you see guys running like, I think like, what is it, like the 1033 is like the SRAM standard for their electronic on the new Axis. So yeah, there's like a whole bunch of options there depending on what you're using, but I'd say whatever you got is fine. Maybe you'll have to run a bit more. Maybe if you're a bit higher, you can ride a lot more. There's like so many different variables there. Okay, a bunch of miscellaneous stuff. So cleaning supplies, super important. Your bike is going to be filthy. Make sure you maybe have some stuff in the car or have some stuff at home. I know at most races they have some stuff there, but get yourself some stuff. Keeping your bike cleaned is super important because it'll wear out all the bearings, everything. So keep your bike clean. It'll last longer. A warm-up trainer. I have like a Feedback Sports Omnium. Check it out. It's like your front wheel clips in, and it's like a little roller setup on the back. You can do your warm-up on the road, totally cool. I like to do my warm-up. I know specifically what I do. Just next to my car, just put the cross bike on there and do my warm-up, no issues. A little tire pressure air checker, which is super nice. You can keep that in your pocket. Maybe if you're doing like your pre-ride, you ride around and you're messing with your tire pressure, you pop that on. You can see exactly what pressure you're running. It's super nice. A chain guide, again, for like muddy races. Sometimes it'll get like so grimy on those courses that it'll keep bumping your chain off your front chainring. Even if you're running a 1x with like a 1x specific, like narrow wide chainring, the chain guide is nice to have. And maybe you rock it for the whole season. It's like, again, marginal weight there and a little peace of mind. It's pretty nice. Embrocation. This, if you're not familiar with Embrocation, it's like this, like lotion, I guess, that you put on. I don't know exactly what it is. I think there's like pepper, spices, and stuff in there. But you put it on your legs or your arms. Be careful where you're putting it. Everybody, I like to put it on with like from the like an inside of a plastic bag, and I'll rub that on just so it doesn't touch my hands, because then like you touch your face or like other sensitive areas, it's not great. But it's nice for if you don't want to rock like tights for like a race, you can put Embro on. You can put some Embro on like your arms. Experiment with this. Some people like it, some people don't like it. Maybe it irritates your skin, but just a thought. I know Embro is used in, I've used it in cross races. Tire inserts or like CushCore. I don't have any personal experience with that, but I know it's gaining more and more popularity. I know it's super popular in mountain bike tires. It's a little insert that goes in that'll help you running lower pressures so that you don't hit your rim. I think there are other benefits there, but yeah, just something to consider. Tools, having some tools in your car, or maybe a little multi-tool in your jersey for your pre-ride in case you want to make some adjustments. I guess I don't really know what adjustments you would be making, but yeah, having tools in general with you at the races is super beneficial, because things will go wrong. Inevitably, things break, which is a nice segue into having a pit bike, which is super nice. If you have there is a pit in cyclocross races. Typically, it's a two-sided pit, so you can hit it twice on a lap. But if you can have a different bike in there, so if you have a mechanical, if something goes wrong, if you flat, if your tubular rolls, if you crash and you break something, if your derailleur breaks, like that stuff, this stuff does happen. So you could run to the pit, go in the pit, switch bikes, and then in a muddy race, you'll see the pros and amateurs as well having an extra bike in the pit, and it'll be sprayed off. There's pressure washers in the pit, so while they'll do like half a lap with the muddy bike in the pit, jump onto the other bike, go around, and then their mechanics will be cleaning the bike, and then they'll come back around and they'll do, swap, do it again. And this will happen constantly. But if you don't have another bike, maybe you have an extra set of wheels, you can do pit wheels, and if something goes wrong, I've seen guys who flat, again, tubular rolls, maybe your tubeless blows, you can go to the pit, swap your tires. It's not as fast as, or swap your wheels rather. It's not as fast as having a bike, but it is an option. It keeps you in the race. If you're traveling, hours, or like maybe you're doing a weekend race in like, a couple states away, it's nice to be able to finish the race. So bring an extra tire or extra wheel set is super clutch. Okay, so we covered so many things, but here are some of my personal recommendations. So some quality stuff you should get. Some quality base layers, merino wool, long sleeve and short sleeve. It wicks moisture in the heat and the cold so well. Some quality gloves. I would get a few pairs. If you're racing day after day, they'll get worn out. They'll get grimy and disgusting. It's nice to have multiple ones. Get a warm-up jacket and some warm-up pants. I have like these Breakaway Pants. I think Castelli makes them. And it's super nice. You just pull them on over your bibs, and you wear them for your warm-up. You wear them to the start line if it's like in December and it's freezing outside. And then you can look, like, the Chicago Bulls, and rip your pants off at the start line. Yeah, it looks super pro. And then a jacket, again, you're waiting at the start line, stay warm and right up until the start, and then you can toss your jacket. People just like, in the starting corral, people just toss like their jackets and their pants over to the side, or maybe you have like your mechanic or your mechanic. If you have a mechanic, that's super pro, that's amazing. Maybe you have like a friend or like a family member or like your loved one that you dragged to this race in the freezing cold, you can toss your stuff to them. Okay, get yourself some quality bib tights. Again, it's super cold. It's nice to have like some long, you can totally rock leg warmers, but having a nice pair of tights is really, really nice. Get yourself a nice long sleeve jersey. Again, if you're not running a skin suit, these are like some clutch pieces of kit. And then bring some spare kit for your pre-ride. You're probably, if you don't have the warm-up jacket, or maybe you do, but you will get like disgusting in a muddy race. So it's nice to have some change into some dry stuff for when the race starts. And then another recommendation is to clean your bike. Make sure you clean your bike after every race, because it'll get disgusting and things will get worn out, and like the grit and grime will get into the bearings and things won't operate right. So clean everything, take it to your local shop to get serviced. Yeah, stay on top of that. And then here's a bunch of topics that I didn't cover. Rim versus disc, single speed setups. I don't know anything about single speed. I've never raced single speed, but I know that's like a unique thing. 2x versus 1x, carbon wheels with the rim depth, why they run, you know, deep dish wheels in the pros, mechanical versus electronic, and then expanded cassette options, which I did kind of touch on, but there's so many other things there. So yeah, I covered so much here. I hope this was informative. Shoot me an email, josh@evokebike, if you have any questions, or let me know what works for you. Maybe you have some tips or tricks or whatever that other people would find beneficial. So yeah, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, and yeah, Dude Cross is coming, so get out there.